Okay, I am with Sam. A happy man today. A 2-0 win over Corinthian-Casuals.
Yeah.
Huge result.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of taking us away from the coldness at the bottom of the table, for sure. But yeah, important result. A much improved Corinthian-Casuals from when we played them earlier on in the season. So we knew that was going to be the case. And the boys showed up, and I think, to be fair to them, you could see the red cheeks from a lot of them. They put the efforts in.
Yeah, it was pleasing. I mean, the first half, although we didn't get our rewards, we looked to play some of the better football that we played in a month.
Yeah.
There was some nice movement, some flowing movement. You must have been pleased with that. Just a little bit disappointed not to go in at the break leading. I
mean, how close can you get with Charlie's one? I thought once it beat the keeper, I thought we were in for it to hit the post and come back the way it did. Must have had a little bit of a spin on it. The good old white leaf bounce, I think, took it away. But yes, it was unlucky, and obviously had to just remind the boys that the job is nowhere near done. Obviously, it's 0-0, and we had that against Marlow, so just making sure we go out with the same efforts, which they did, and just took little bits of the game at a time rather than just thinking, yeah, it can be won in 15-20 minutes. Just do it in 5-minute increments, and they went out and done that really well, executed it really well. Bit harsh to obviously go down to 10 men. Need to obviously look at that back, because the ball goes back and it looks like the guy's actually offside when it obviously happens. But good character again. They dug deep, but I did wonder how much of a test that was going to be, and that they come away with a good result. Okay.
Let's talk about that first goal. I'm sure AJ's telling you he saw the keeper drift off his line and played it into that corner. Or was it a cross?
He's a striker, isn't he? I'm going to give it to him. Listen, I said to him, because obviously he played slightly in a different position today rather than obviously through the middle. I said to him, you will get something today. And listen, he gave that fullback a hard time in the first half. He ended up on the booking, and fullback, we had a few words coming off the pitch. And I said to AJ, look, just go and prove me right now. And he went and done it. It was a great strike.
Fair enough. You made one change from last week. You brought in Ollie Twan, who you signed from South Park. Seemed to give everybody a boost. I mean, we've had Ollie down here before. We know his pace. It must have just been great to get him over the line, and as I say, it gave everybody in the club a boost.
Yeah, and obviously the other change was obviously Charlie through the middle.
Yes,
and Charlie had a really good game as well. I think that all three of them interlinked quite well. And yeah, he did. You know, Ollie did come in, and considering he's only trained well half a session, as it were, to come and talk to me. So yeah, it was really good. And yeah, hopefully it's a nice foundation for him. Bear in mind the lad's not actually played many minutes recently from Ollie as well. So yeah, left him out there just to get it in the tank.
Okay. When we spoke last week, we looked at defensively. This week, much more solid. Nobody overplayed. We were at fault in the previous games of sort of getting the ball down and then trying to do the wrong thing at the back. Our defenders defended today. Yep. As a goalkeeper, I love seeing that.
Yeah.
You must have been happy with the performance there.
What we've been trying to do anyway. So yeah, it was just making sure it transferred over onto the pitch, and yeah, the boys. You know, you could tell actually. I could tell the atmosphere as we walked in. You know, there was a little bit more of a buzz. Obviously, the boys prepared right the night before. I'm going to thank everyone's girlfriends probably, because that's probably what that was. But yeah, defended well, and even the lads that came on, as I said, you just showed obviously no one was moping around when they came on. And substitute Nabil obviously come on. I know he was disappointed not to start. In all honesty, I don't think he's been the Bill that we've expected the last couple of weeks, and he come and obviously showed us what he could do. Even though he gave me a heart attack after going past two players on the line, but yeah, he got the job done.
Yeah, I think you're right. Nabil hasn't been the player of last season, but we know what he's got in his locker. We know the quick feet, and he can destroy players.
Yeah.
But as you say, a few heart attacks is like just put it in the net, please.
Yeah.
Defensively, as I said, we touched defensively, and you mentioned about sending off. Tance, I think, was a little bit unfortunate. It was a wicked deflection, and he probably was left with no option but to bring the lad down. It's going to be a one-game ban. You've got Tariq who can step into that role, and he's not let us down. So you're looking in quite good shape, really, aren't you?
We are, yeah. I just feel for Tance. Obviously, he's worked really hard to come back from the injury. He's been patient. Obviously, once he's come back, being on the bench and obviously getting his first start today, it's really unfortunate for him. But it was a little bit harsh, to be honest. You know, I could sit here and talk about refs, but we'd have that same conversation for every other week on decisions. I'll leave it at that.
O'Shane picked up your man of the match. I know there's some discussions about that, but two huge saves. One at 0-0 and one at 1-0. and his handling was spot on, and his kicking was good. You can't really fault him there today.
No, he really did have a good game. I'm not going to get in trouble with the fans and the committee on that decision. I thought, listen, he was one of the 16 out there today that obviously put it out there and obviously got the reward from it. And yeah, he was another one.
Yeah.
I thought there was maybe a couple of other candidates, but as I said, honestly, I am not getting in trouble. So listen,
honest,
well done.
Shep was probably in there because he was excellent again. Both his centre halves did really well. So, as you say, you could have looked around the team today, which hasn't been the case over the last few weeks.
No, and that just shows you what happened today.
Yeah.
As I said, like everyone was on the same page and everyone put in the same effort. So, listen, it could have been anyone that got that. And yeah, listen, well done, O'Shane. A clean sheet at the end of the day.
Yeah. And finally, obviously, there was bad news with James. Needs an operation. He's going to be out for the season now, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the news on Conan?
Back in training.
Okay.
He's back in training. Yeah.
Excellent. Right. Well, thank you very much, Sam. For once, go and enjoy your evening.
Yeah. Cheers.